Christmas Eve, 1945. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family home, glowing with Christmas lights, promised warmth and cheer. Inside, George and Jennie Sodder celebrated with 9 of their 10 children. The younger kids, excited for Santa, begged to stay up past their bedtime. Reluctantly, Jennie agreed, unaware this simple act of kindness would become a haunting regret. Shortly after midnight, a fire erupted, engulfing the house in flames. George and Jennie, along with 4 of their children, escaped the inferno. Frantic, they searched for the other 5, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jennie Jr., and Betty. But the fire raged, an impenetrable wall of heat and smoke. Help was delayed. The phone lines were down. The fire truck, usually stationed nearby, was inexplicably unavailable. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was a smoldering ruin. The Sodders clung to hope, praying their missing children had somehow escaped. As the smoke cleared, a horrific truth emerged. No trace of the 5 children could be found. The fire, intense as it was, hadn't consumed them. No bones, no teeth, no remnants of their presence were discovered in the ashes. The official explanation: the children perished in the fire, their bodies incinerated beyond recognition. The Sodder family, however, refused to believe it. They knew their children. They couldn't fathom how a fire, even one as ferocious as this, could vaporize 5 young bodies, leaving no trace behind. Their grief mingled with a growing suspicion that something sinister had happened, something beyond the explanation offered by authorities. The Sodders began their own investigation, driven by a parent's unwavering love and the gnawing suspicion that the fire was no accident. They uncovered troubling inconsistencies. Witnesses reported seeing the missing children in a passing car as the fire raged. Others claimed to have seen them in the days following the fire, miles away. A curious detail emerged about the Christmas lights that had so festively adorned their home. The lights, supposedly faulty and the cause of the fire, were found intact in the debris. Further, a witness came forward, claiming to have seen a man tampering with the Sodders' fuse box on the night of the fire. The seeds of doubt, sown in grief, began to blossom into a chilling possibility: kidnapping. The years that followed were a relentless cycle of hope and despair for the Sodders. They chased every lead, no matter how tenuous, driven by an unshakable belief that their children were alive. Sightings of the missing Sodder children were reported from various parts of the country. A waitress in a nearby town claimed to have served the children breakfast the morning after the fire. A schoolteacher in Charleston, West Virginia, swore she had taught children matching the Sodders' descriptions. Each sighting, a flicker of hope in the darkness, ultimately led to a dead end. Yet the Sodders refused to give up. They erected billboards along Route 16, the highway that ran past their ravaged home, displaying the faces of their missing children. They offered a reward, pleading for any information that might lead them to the truth. Years turned into decades. The reward money grew, as did the Sodders' desperation. They received countless tips, each one meticulously investigated, each one a painful reminder of their loss. One such tip led them to Texas, where a woman claimed her ex-husband had confided in her about the Sodder children. He allegedly said they were living with his relatives. The Sodders, hearts pounding with a mix of dread and anticipation, traveled to Texas. But their hopes were dashed once again. The children were not there. Another dead end, another cruel twist of fate. The Sodder children were never found. George Sodder died in 1969, his heart broken, his quest for answers unfulfilled. Jennie, however, never gave up hope. She wore black for the rest of her life, a symbol of her mourning and her unwavering belief that her children were still out there, somewhere. She died in 1989, her last wish unfulfilled. The case of the missing Sodder children remains one of the most baffling mysteries in American history. Was it a tragic accident, a fire that consumed 5 young lives, leaving behind only unanswered questions? Or was it something more sinister, a kidnapping shrouded in smoke and deception? The passage of time has done little to dim the mystery. The Sodder children are gone, their fate unknown, their story a chilling reminder that even amidst the joy of Christmas, darkness can descend, leaving behind an enduring legacy of heartbreak and unanswered questions.